Good morning, everybody. It has been a minute. So last video, I was saying how the girls got a cold and I felt like I was getting it. Well, I got it, and then it turned into a full sinus infection. And I don't think I've ever had a sinus infection before. Those are not fun. I'm like finally at the tail end of it. I kept thinking I was like, oh, this is the last day. And then I felt like it would get worse. See, each one of these is a finger. So let's try it again. Wait. Is it this way? Oh, it's that hand. Other hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is it this hand?
Okay. That might feel a bit better. There. Does that feel better? You can grab it. I had just like so much pressure in this area, which is your sinus, and then under my eye, it hurt so bad, like for 2 days straight. Well, I don't know. It was like a week of being sick. I'm on day 7 or day 8 right now, and today I feel like way better. I just am congested, but my nose is like, the snot is pouring out right now, and it feels so good. I was just so stuffed up I couldn't even breathe out my nose. So I kind of just have my lingering cough. It started as a cough. But anyways, we have been just at home every day, and the kids didn't get it as bad as I did. You know what really helped me was the neti pot, the like nasal rinse. So I do that twice a day, and that's helped significantly. So we're draining today. We're gonna try to be outside. It's gonna be really hot today. I feel like I have a lot to show you, a lot to talk about. We kind of are on a break with our construction. We're on a pause because it's something with the next inspection that they have to do, and they're waiting to hear back from the roof, about the roof and the stucco. I'm not 100% sure, but we are just kind of waiting right now. So it's been about a week. So we ended up moving our furniture back under the overhang, and it's been glorious. It has been so nice to just have our furniture under a shade, and we have been absolutely loving it. It's been like just so game-changing having this overhang. So I'll show you, the only thing new that you guys haven't seen is they wrapped, they did the beams, but I wasn't really happy with the stain color. I wanted it to be a little darker, so I'm gonna see if they can stain it a little bit darker. But yeah, I'll share that. And then our door is fully installed and usable. The construction inside is done. So they took the like bubble things out, which has been so nice. Another thing that helped, I saw this YouTube video on sinuses and like massaging your face, but it was like, you know, pressure points and also just like getting into your sinus area and up here, drainage. So that was really helpful too. I also want to get to the Q&A that I promised you guys. It's taken me a little longer to get to, but I have a ton of questions. They range from homeschool stuff to parenting to just other things. So we'll do that soon too. Owen's birthday is coming up so soon. His birthday is July 2nd, and he will be 3 years old. I cannot believe he's gonna be 3. Andrew and I were sitting out here this morning, I'm like, he's gonna be 3, that's wild. So we're actually going to the river for a whole week, and we're gonna celebrate his birthday out there. It's kind of like 4th of July and his birthday, which is fun. So I got some little Spider-Man decorations for him at Walmart, and we gotta wrap his presents. The girls each picked out a present for him. We're gonna wrap his stuff. She got him a Spider-Man hat, and June got him a little like remote control car thing. Okay, I'm gonna show you the doors from walking inside so you can see what a difference it makes. Hey, June, can you close that door so I can show them it closed first? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and we sold our dining table. We want a round table in here, so we actually found a Restoration Hardware outlet by us, so we're gonna go there this weekend hopefully. But I think we're gonna get a black one. We'll see. So here's the door. You want to open it, June? Show us how you open it. Nice and slow, slow, slow. Keep going. So this pushes in, and then this pushes in. Sorry, it's really dark with all this light, but it makes our house look so different. We love it so much. It's much taller than our old door. And then outside, they still have to do the roof here, but we moved this out here at least. Oh my god, what's that face? We got a little bench here. I found that at Big Lots actually. And then our table and chairs are from Living Spaces. Here's all our tissues. Girls were doing their little tracing out here. We have not been doing any school this week because we've all been sick. But that's why I'm doing school year round, so we can take breaks throughout and not be stressed about it. My seconds are all doing much better in the shade out here. They were all like being scorched in the sun. And this one looks so cute. And then we move this over here. The rug's not out yet because obviously we got to move this back sometime soon, whenever they come back. But I still need to finish all of the trim work, the stucco for the door. But at least we have this for now. And it's just been so nice. Oh, my aloe vera was doing bad too. I had all of our plants were over there. And they were just getting like sunburnt. So I moved this under the overhang. And it's turning green again. All of it was kind of this purpley brown color. And over the last few days, it started to get its green back. So I'm very happy with that. And our little baby olive trees over there for now. So here are the beams wrapped. So see how this one's darker? And these are much lighter. I want them all to be the same. So I'm going to see if they can add more stain to that. Because I like the look of this color beam. And I want them all to be that shade of brown. Our tree is doing much better. It kind of went through a little shock period when we transplanted it here. But now it's doing really good. And then our lavender is doing good too. I just pruned it yesterday. The salvia died. We took the salvia out. But this is doing good here. So Andrew changed the sprinkling system. There was a couple little brown patches, but this area back here gets really sun scorched. So what we're gonna do is just plant like wildflowers and kind of like shrubs over here. So we got these sweet peas. Well, they're not actually sweet peas. They're called like a butterfly plant. I don't know the technical term for them. So we're hoping these just grow into like a nice bush shrub right there. And then I want to get, if you guys have seen yarrow, they come in yellow or like a red. I want to do yellow and plant them right here. And they just are like meadow looking. So I want this kind of be like a wild little meadow that trims the border of the grass, softens the edge, and kind of grow up along the rocks. That's kind of the goal for this. And then eventually we're gonna plant that whole back wall with jasmine. And then I wanted to just drape over that retaining wall. I think that'll look so nice. And then we're trying to figure out what to plant along this back wall. I want it covered. I don't want to see any wall. I want all green. We were gonna do jasmine, but I feel like the jasmine will look better over there. If you guys have any ideas, let me know what we should plant back here. And then this bougainvillea is doing really, really good. It just looks so pretty. That one is coming back, but this one's doing much better. And man, when it gets like really sunny, it just looks so nice. I love it. So the goal with these is to train them to just grow up over. So yeah, everything's growing, which is great. And then over here on the side yard, we were gonna take some of this rosemary out and do some more fruit trees. We were thinking a tangerine and a peach tree would be great. And then maybe a few other like herbs. We have the rosemary obviously, so we can do a few other things. But yeah, this back wall, we need to add one more row of blocks so we can add like a soil, because this ground's pretty tough. And then once we do that, we can get in the jasmine. It's just gonna be kind of an expensive project, so maybe we might just wait until next spring to do that. So our guest room downstairs has become the storage room for all of our stuff. So we wanted to get some new stuff for the river house. A lot of the stuff is just old. We are actually gonna paint that blue wall like a taupey color. I just felt like it looked like a nursery blue color and it just didn't fit the rest of the place. So we're gonna paint that while we're out there. I'm very much looking forward to that being a different color. I feel like it just throws off the rest of the place. Just got some like basic things. Look how cute these are. They're these little kids plates. Andrew's brother is expecting a baby soon, so my sister-in-law is she's like halfway through her pregnancy, so I figured we would get extra kid stuff because they're gonna have babies soon, and these are just so adorable. I love that, especially for the river. These little wildlife ones and the flower, and then it has a matching, where is it? It's like a lion. Here. How cute are these? So I thought the kids would all really like that. We got a new coffee maker and some silverware, just a lot of like utensil things, dish towels. You know what I was thinking I could do is I could do a finished river house video and then also share clips from Owen's birthday. That would be really cute. And I can show you guys what we got for him. So I'll definitely do that. Everyone's eating some mac and cheese. And we have on the Kids Baking Championship, which is their favorite show ever. I just got these bowls in from Crate and Barrel. So these I have had since Andrew and I got married. I've had these for 10 years and they're my absolute favorite. Something happened to the smallest one. They have silicone grip on the bottom. They have a pour spout, which I love. I use it for almond milk. I use it for so many things. I just felt like it was time for a new one. This one's getting a little nasty. So I was looking on Crate and Barrel and I wasn't sure if these were exactly the same. They're better. The only thing is I thought this one was gonna be as big as this. So I might keep this large one because I could also nest these in here, and then I have 4 sizes. But the reason I like them so much is they're lightweight to pour with, but they're durable. Because I have glass mixing bowls, but it's just so much harder to take those out. These ones, you get a pour spout, so it's perfect for like batter and just so many things. And look how cute these ones are. They look like clay. So this is the terracotta color and they're smooth inside. These are on sale right now for $35, which is such a good deal for all 3 of these. So I'm hoping by the time this goes up, it's still active, but they had a few other colors. I think this was the only one on sale, but that was the color that I actually wanted anyways. So super awesome. And the new version of these has a lid. So how great is that? I can save whatever's left over in the fridge. We are finally getting to my Q&A. So I wrote down some questions and I have a lot that are just on my channel. So let's start with, they're gonna be random, so just get ready for randomness. Budget for groceries for Costco. We don't go to Costco that often. It's usually like once we're out of a lot of our pantry staples. When we go, I would say we usually spend around $300. Last time we spent $500. Everything is so much more expensive now. Holy moly, if you guys live in California, I mean, like gas is out of control. So we grocery shop once a week. We try to spend under $200 for our like weekly groceries. And then Costco is like not even every month though. Every few months we go to Costco. Okay, I've had some questions about how my gut has been since I did my gut reset, and it's been so much better. I do notice now like what affects it, and if I notice myself getting bloated, usually I can figure out like what the root cause is. Basically, I just get a lot of inflammation if I'm eating poorly, but I think we all do. We just don't necessarily, we usually try to pinpoint like, oh, it's because I ate a cookie or I ate that. But I think what it really is just builds up over time. Eating, making poor choices with your foods can cause increased inflammation, and then over time that creates like chronic bloating. So a few things for me that I noticed really made a difference was to check the labels, check your ingredients. Fillers, a lot of gluten-free products have fillers, they have gums, they have additives to make them gluten-free, like to substitute for what they're taking out. And those things are very, very bloating, very inflammatory. So that's why I started making my own almond milk, because if you look at the back of a lot of almond milk containers, they're just full of a lot of crap. If you can't if you can't pronounce the name, usually I try to avoid that. So that was something that I cut out. I don't eat, I know I just said almond milk. Almond milk is different than eating actual nuts. Like, I don't eat actual nuts as much anymore. Every now and then I do, but if I'm like, I used to eat trail nuts all the time. I don't do that anymore. I also don't eat as many beans anymore. That was causing me a lot of bloat. So I do every now and then. I'll have some black beans, but I just don't eat a lot of it. I still can eat all of those vegetables that I was taking out from the low FODMAP diet, like broccoli, cauliflower, onions, garlic, all those really good things that you should be able to eat. The low FODMAP diet is basically like a Band-Aid, and it will give you short-term relief, but it's not fixing the actual problem. You need to really like deal with the inflammation. So you can cut those things out for a little bit to give your body some relief, but over time you want to slowly incorporate those back into your diet because they're really healthy foods still. But I found that cooking them down helps tremendously. Like, I don't ever really eat raw vegetable or raw broccoli anymore. All of that cooked down is so much easier to digest and just on your digestion in general. So whenever I'm making vegetables now, I cook those so they're soft and so they're easier on my gut. I also forgot to mention something that I realized after doing my gut reset was that I need to slow down when I eat and sit down. That played a huge part in it, and just my stress level. So just being mindful of cooking your meals, getting your digestive enzymes going, your bile, so that you can digest your food properly, because I was just not digesting my foods beforehand. So 1, slowing down. 2, chewing my food more, which sounds funny, but I was literally just not chewing my food up. So I tried to just chew my food more, slow down, cook more of my meals. And if I can remember, I will take a digestive enzyme. That just helps. That just helps with digestion, but that helps a ton. How did I choose our kids' names? Can you share other ones that you've considered? I love the vintage and classic names you like. Thank you. That's my style. Vintage and classic names. I always have a running list of baby names, and June and Violet and Owen, they all kind of were on it for years and years. When I found out I was having twins, we kind of had to switch it up a little bit, or not switch it up, but just like figure out what names would go together. And I didn't want them to be too matchy. I wanted a different first letter, and just they needed to kind of complement each other. So another one I liked though when we were going through baby names for the girls was Ivy. I really liked, but Andrew didn't like it. Andrew was really picky, so it was kind of just like convincing him on certain names. I liked Scarlet. I love color names. I love flower names. I like the months of the year. We hear Violet all the time. At every park, we always hear a Violet. And June, I feel like I hear on TV shows a lot. So it's just funny because at the time when you're naming your kids, you know, you're trying to pick like names that aren't very common. And then I feel like once they're 5, you start hearing those names because they weren't popular when they were born, but then everybody's thinking the same thing. It kind of like all has a trend. So I think that kind of classic old-fashioned names, like that type of style, was very popular when the girls were born, and it still is. And I think for good reason, because they're just, you know, they're classic names. Owen, when I heard it, I always loved it. I like O names. We also liked Oliver. It was kind of between Owen and Oliver. And something about Owen I just really loved, and same with Andrew. That was on our list when we thought the girls were going to be boys, and it was going to be Owen and Benjamin. And then when I found out I was having a boy, we were like, it's Owen. So, and he just looks just like an Owen. It's just so funny. Somebody said, having twins first, how did you decide you were ready for a third? Also, how was it being pregnant with 2 toddlers running around? It's so crazy now when I look back, because I look at Owen, so he's almost 3. When I had Owen, the girls were 2.5. And I just can't believe, like, that seems so young to me. And I mean, a lot of people have, their babies are like 2 years apart. And at the time, I feel like you think, okay, yeah, it's time for another baby. But that, your older baby is still pretty young. And so it's definitely challenging. Like, I just, all the time, to my friends, I'm always just like, I can't believe how young the girls are. I can't believe the age Owen is now. They were 6 months younger than that. I had baby. It just is like blows my mind. But I knew we were ready because I knew I wanted the next baby to be 2 to 3 years apart. So I also took into consideration their birthday, and I really did not want another December holiday baby because that is just kind of overwhelming with the girls' birthdays. So, girls' birthday. So we planned it to be like we said, okay, we'll try these months. If we don't get pregnant, we'll wait a few months and then try because we didn't want that birthday to be around there. So it kind of was just based on when we wanted them to be born and the gap we wanted. Did I think I was ready? I don't know. I kind of just thought it was time, and obviously you're still busy, but keep in mind you still have 9 months of being pregnant, so that gives you some time to get ready. And I don't think you're ever truly ready. You know, you just kind of have to do it. And I always knew, like, we knew we wanted another baby, so that wasn't really a question. It was just kind of when. A lot of people ask me, like, who have twins first and then are wondering if they want a third, if I would recommend having a third. And yes, oh my gosh, like, having Owen was just the most special experience. It's hard for me to say that because it makes me feel bad looking back on the girls when they were born. It was just a roller coaster when they were born. We have twins. The first 4 months are completely a blur. So it's almost like having Owen was my time to like recapture those newborn moments that I didn't really remember with the girls, and I didn't really get to savor with them at all. It just felt so quick and stressful. With Owen, I got to kind of take a deep breath. Yes, I had the girls to still take care of, and that was obviously challenging, but my time with Owen was just so special. And I look back on those moments, just being in his room in my glider, nursing him, and it was just the best. Like, just being able to nurse one baby, it was so special. And it's like I got to experience what that's like to just have one baby, and it really is night and day. It is so completely different. And I always tell people with twins who like are in those hard moments in the beginning, like, just give yourself some time, give yourself some grace. It just keeps getting better with twins. That's how I feel. Like, their bond gets strengthened. Yes, the girls still fight, but like their bond is just inseparable, and it just gets more special as they get older. And you start to appreciate having twins more, where in the beginning you're just kind of thrown into it and it's just like, this is so much. Where now I just think like how fortunate I am to have them, and like what a blessing it is to have twins, because it's not super common. So yeah, how do you recharge after a hard day or hard moments? I have hard days all the time. I have hard moments all the time. Sometimes for me, just taking a shower at the end of the day, like once everybody's in bed, it kind of gives me time to just reset. Like, after Andrew gets home, it's usually bedtime once Andrew gets home. So I'm putting all the kids to bed, and he knows if I like go straight to the shower that I've had a long day, and then I can come downstairs and like am ready to like chat and watch a show with him. But sometimes I just need a minute on my own to like decompress. I also love to just go outside. Like right now in the middle of the day, if it's been a busy, kind of draining morning, going outside just like fuels me. And just laying in the sun for a little bit. Reading has been really good for me. I try to read a devotional in the morning. It gives me a little bit of me time. If you can, wake up like 30 minutes before your kids wake up. I know it sounds impossible, but once you do it, you'll see it's like you crave that time alone. And it just helps you to be more patient throughout the day. It helps you to be a better mom throughout the day, because you had that time in the morning to just like get grounded in the word, grounded in just, you know, feeling like grateful in your situation rather than starting the day to a crying baby. Like, that's not the best way to wake up. So that definitely helps me out. During hard moments though, honestly, a deep breath goes a long way. Take a deep breath and realize that this is just a short period of time. This will pass. And I try not to react to situations. Like, if someone did something bad and like I need to discipline, I try to calm my voice first. I try not to react. You know, you want to like compose yourself before you speak to them. And also know that like your kids are going to go through stuff. They also have hard moments and bad days too. It's not just us. They also have ups and downs. And so knowing that and knowing that that's okay if they're not like being 100% amazing all day long. Like that's okay. Nobody is like that. If you had to live outside of California, where would you live and why? This is a hard one because like a year or two ago, we were thinking about moving out of California. We were weighing our options, like legitimately looking at other states and homes. And we feel the most at home here in this little, I feel like we're in this little bubble where we live and it just feels really good and right. We have great friends. The kids have wonderful friends and I just want them to, you know, I want us to get rooted here and develop those friendships for the kids, and I feel really good being here. But if we had to move, the hard thing about Texas, because my family lives in Texas now, a lot of them moved there, but I just don't quite feel at home there. I don't know if it's the scenery, it's just so flat, and that kind of creeps me out. And same with Andrew. Like, we live in the hills, kind of. We live with mountains around us. And so to live somewhere so flat, that would be very hard for me to adjust to. Even my parents say that when they come home to visit us, they're like, that is very, it's weird if you're not used to that. And the humidity would be really, really hard for me. I don't do well with the humidity and all the bugs. So I take for granted the weather here until I leave and I'm like, okay, now I understand it. But there are a lot of things I do love about Texas though. It's like you can't base everything on the weather, obviously. Other places, we also like Arizona. Where else? Like, I just don't, we also looked into moving to Nashville, but it seemed, I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel like I fit in there. And I think it's maybe just something about where you're raised. We were raised in Southern California. It's very relaxed here. It has that coastal vibe. And I feel like some other places are a little more like preppy, a little more formal even. I don't know. And like, I always wish I could do like fit in with that, like more on the East Coast. It's just a different feeling and a different vibe. And Andrew and I are very casual people, and we're also not super outgoing social. So that's why I feel like living in the South might be hard for us, because we go to visit my parents, like people are always coming over and like they're like, let's go out and chat with our neighbors. And that's not really me and Andrew. Like we're kind of private. We like to invite people over, but we like being with our family. So it's just crazy how different areas are. And I think where we are is just like really good for us. So that was a really big tangent. My mom's not gonna like the answer because she's still trying to convince us to move there, but I'm trying to convince her to move back to live here. How do you keep yourself organized? So organized. And with 3 kids, how do you find time for yourself? Let's just first say I'm not so organized at all. My house is usually messy. I'm not gonna show the mess all the time, obviously, but just know that my house is usually messy. There's 3 kids here. I think though, like for me, creating order helps my mind, helps me not be super sporadic. And also I've tried to now really focus on, instead of creating the perfect home, the perfect space, I like Pinterest worthy, I want to create a more of a good feeling in our home and a good peaceful feeling for our family. I want our kids to feel at ease in our home. And sometimes that does mean tidying up, because if the house is chaotic, then I sometimes notice that the kids are a little chaotic. So for me, like keeping order in the house helps with like a lot of other aspects, which you don't really necessarily think would affect that, but it really does. But just like having a peaceful home is very important to me, especially since we homeschool now. I want our home to feel like a very safe and happy place for the kids and for me. I have worked from home for so many years, and so this is kind of my sanctuary and where I feel the best. How did you prepare the girls for a new baby? I have a 6-year-old who is thrilled for another sibling, but an almost 2-year-old who hasn't a clue what's coming. We talked about it, but I truly don't think there's anything you can really do until the baby's here. And then when the baby is here, I think what's important is giving that older sibling attention and love, because they're gonna feel neglected no matter what. And they're not gonna understand why this new baby is getting all the attention when before they were. What we did a lot was I'd have their grandparents come and take them for the day somewhere fun, where they just got to do something for them and it gave them attention. And I would see, like, the girls would act up a ton when Owen was born, and I knew it was just because they needed attention. So just keeping them included is definitely important. Okay, let's talk about homeschool. I've got a lot of questions about homeschool. Main question I get, I'm getting really congested as I'm talking a lot, is homeschool for beginners, like where to start. I would say the hardest part of homeschool for me was starting and wondering, like, what do I need? Where do I begin? Like, that's completely overwhelming for good reason, because you don't know what to expect. Honestly, you just got to jump in and just start, and it'll all start to just fall into place. There's so many curriculums to pick. You got to just kind of pick one and understand that you can completely change that one if it doesn't work out for you or for the kids. And sometimes, like, a curriculum that you like, your kids might not like. That's nice. Or like vice versa. So know what type of curriculum they do well with. Like, if something is just not clicking with them and you're like, what is going on here? Maybe it's because that's the way you learn, but maybe it's not the way your kids learn, because curriculums are based on different learning styles, different methods. So there's Charlotte Mason, Waldorf, like traditional schooling. There's so many, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. I'm a little foggy still. Unit study, like there's a bunch of different things. I am more eclectic. I like to pick and choose different things based on what we're wanting at the time. But pick one, try it out for 6 months, see how it goes. If you don't love it, then get a new one and try that instead. We do The Good and the Beautiful math for kindergarten. I really like it. And All About Reading, level 1 right now. I sprinkle in handwriting practice that I got from The Good and the Beautiful, and we sprinkle in other things here and there. But those are generally the 2 things that we try to get done, are a little bit of reading and a little bit of math. And then for the summer right now, we're doing like a nature summer study. Treehouse Schoolhouse, I'll put her down below. She has great resources, and I am doing that as often as I can this summer. I want to school year round so that we can take breaks when needed. Like this week we had a week off because everybody was sick. I didn't feel bad about not doing school because I knew we would make up for it. So we still do school, not every single day. It's not as like strict, not that what I do is strict, but it's not as routine, I guess, because we have other things going on. But I like to still fit stuff in as we can, because the girls do well with structure and so do I. So if we have like a little routine going on, it just helps us out and our day flows much smoother that way. Let me give you guys like a little rundown of our morning routine. Keep in mind, every day is different. Not every day looks like this. This is the ideal day, because some days we have dance, some days we have other things going on with our co-op. So we wake up and we have very slow mornings. That was one of the reasons why we started homeschool, was because we are very rushed in the morning going to school. I try not to put a show on right away, because I find that when I do, they just want to watch TV. So if I can not put that on right away, they tend to go in the classroom and color, or they'll play with blocks, and they'll just find something creative to do. So once we've been playing for a little bit, once I've had my coffee, they usually play outside. I will make them a little breakfast. They don't get super hungry first thing in the morning. I'll have them go upstairs and put on the change for the day. They always say like time for our day clothes. So they'll go upstairs, they'll get dressed, they'll brush their teeth, and now Owen kind of is doing it too, which is really cute. And then I will go upstairs and same thing, I'll get ready really quick for the day. Once we are all ready, we come down into the classroom and we will try to just do something like easy to start. I don't start on math right away. I'll try reading a book out loud. We will do like a little art thing in the morning. We will practice our handwriting. Well, that's what we'll usually do. I'll have them practice their handwriting while I read to them. And then as we kind of ease into things, then we will either go into our reading curriculum or our math. Sometimes I do math with one individually, and then I'll switch so that they get one-on-one time and they're not competitive with each other finishing first. And then we do reading together because it's a little more like intensive. So they say for like our reading curriculum to just spend 20 minutes a day on that. Sometimes we do more. It just really depends on how their moods are. After we do that, I let them break free and go play. And sometimes we'll be doing school and they're still in their jammies, and at this time I'll be like, okay, go put your day clothes on for the day, and I'll make a snack for everybody, and they'll just play, and I'll kind of reorganize the classroom and get something else going for them. Sometimes I'll do like a craft at this time, and I'll get everything set up for them, and then when they come down, we get to do that together. Or like we'll do Play-Doh, or we'll bake together, something more hands-on. So I like to do the bookwork stuff kind of early in the morning. They're more focused in the morning. And then after that, we do more hands-on stuff. And then when it comes to like 11 o'clock, we're not doing any more school stuff. But to me, just doing stuff throughout the day together, it's all considered school. It's all hands-on learning stuff. They are actively helping me throughout the day. They're helping me clean up. They're helping me with laundry. They're helping me with the dishes, run errands. Like, they are all a part of it. And I just find moments to teach them through all of these things. We also try to be outside as much as possible. We go on walks. We'll go to the park. We do things with our co-op. So we're very, very, I don't want to say very, very busy, but we still have a lot going on. It's just a little more intentional and like curated for them so that it doesn't feel rushed. I have had to be very purposeful in that because, you know, I want them to be more at ease with everything we do because they get very overwhelmed if they're doing too much. So that's kind of like a loose outline of our day. Somebody said, do you get frustrated when teaching? Sometimes if they get frustrated more than I get frustrated, they're very, one of mine is a little bit more sensitive and a little more like, if things don't come quickly, then she thinks she's doing a bad job. So I have to more reassure her that it's okay. And that's why I like to do things one-on-one with them so they don't feel the pressure of doing it at the same time as the other. But if they're not getting something, then instead of forcing it, I'll usually have them take a break and do something else. I'll switch gears because if they're like crying through a lesson or something, then they're not going to retain anything that we're doing right there. So we'll break and we'll do something else, and then we'll get back to that. As far as resources go, I followed so many homeschool moms when I first started, and there's like endless things that you can get. So you don't need to get everything. I think it's more like over time. Well, a lot of people I follow have been doing this for many years. So over time, they've collected all these things. As far as like math manipulatives, books are like my weakness. I want to buy all the books. But I think just starting with like essentials first, just get like essential things for crafts, and obviously get your curriculum stuff that you're going to be using, and then anything extra that you need, I think you can kind of add over time. As far as like unit studies and like we're doing the nature study for the summertime, those are all outlined in advance on things you need. So I'll look like a couple weeks in advance and be like, okay, we're going to do this little art project or science project, or we're going to be making this. So I'll make a list of things that we need and just get that like ahead of time. There's somebody else, not Treehouse Schoolhouse. There's another one. I'll put it, Brighter Day Press. She also has really good stuff. I'm pretty sure we used her. She has a Christmas curriculum. So those are fun too, to kind of mix in with your like traditional math and reading. You can add those in. They just supplement things, but they also have like handwriting practice, and they're very much Charlotte Mason based curriculums. So they're really fun and like a lot of focus on art and songs and rhymes. A lot of questions about Owen, what I do with Owen while teaching the girls. That's the hardest part, is dealing with Owen. I love teaching them. It's so fun. It's just figuring something out for him where it's like, you don't want to just ignore him, but you need to give him something to do, but he also wants to be involved with us, yet he can't do everything the same. So I try to give him something that looks like what we're doing. Like say we're doing an art project. I give him a piece of paper that looks like the girls, and he can do his own version of that, and hopefully that keeps him entertained for some time. Yeah, he won't sit like the girls do. The girls at his age were sitting and coloring and wanted to do all those things. That is not him. He wants to be outside running around. So I found like a little, it's not Charlotte Mason, Montessori thing. It has like a wrench, it has all these screws that you can play with and tinker with. Things like that he likes to do, and so I try to keep those in the classroom for him. All the Love Every things that we have, we keep all those in there. So like wooden blocks and little like puzzle things he can do. Also, when I'm reading, he will listen usually. He just likes to sit on my lap or sit near me and just like be with us doing all those things. But I'm not forcing any, like a lot of people have asked if I'm doing preschool with him now, and definitely not. Like he is not wanting that yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. And I just think he'll have a different learning style than the girls do, and they each have their own learning style too. He's just way more hands-on and wants to be like doing stuff, building stuff, like magnet tiles he really likes. So things like that are more his speed than a workbook. The girls asked for workbooks when they were young. They're just different than he is. Okay, I think that's it for the homeschool questions. There's a couple more random ones. Somebody asked your favorite TV shows of all time. Actually, right now, Andrew and I are watching Seinfeld, and we love it. I feel like or at least I do. I look forward to watching that at the end of the day. And there's short episodes, and there's so many little references that now I understand what people are talking about. It's like the sitcom before Friends. Like I feel like Friends actually grabbed a lot of stuff from Seinfeld. Friends is my all-time favorite show for sure. I love Friends. I owned all 10 seasons. I've watched every episode so many times. Friends, One Tree Hill is another absolute favorite. I love One Tree Hill. We used to watch a lot of reality TV, and we've completely stopped. I just felt like we watched so many Housewives, and I felt like after I'd watch one, I'd get like stressed out from all their fighting. So we really don't watch any reality shows anymore. We don't watch as much TV anymore. And then for podcasts, I'm gonna just link some down below. I can never remember the names of actual podcasts. So there's a couple that I like. There's one, Durenda Wilson, I believe is her name. She wrote one of the books that I really like. I'll put that in the info section. She has just a ton of really good homeschool podcasts. So if I'm in the mood for like that type of thing, I'll listen to her. I listen to the Mom Voice when I want just like lighthearted, fun podcasts. They just talk about like real stuff going on. But yeah, I'll put a few other ones down below. So, okay, this video's been very long. So I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all very soon.